Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. So this video is about Mercury retrograde, and this is part 1. Of course, the extended version to this video is available on Patreon, where I go over the sun, moon rising placements and how, this energy might be influencing them. So in this video, I'm going to share this time 3 things with you about this Mercury retrograde that's happening on August 23rd until September 15 when Mercury goes direct. So the first thing that I want to share with you is what happens when Mercury is in retrograde and in the sign of Virgo. So first of all, like whenever a planet is in retrograde, we call retrograde reversal energy because it looks like the planet is going backwards. But instead, what actually happens is the planet has slowed down so much to where, in comparison to the others, it looks like it's going backwards. Think about cars on the highway, where it's like you look at the cars on the highway and they're zooming by real fast, and then maybe there's this one car in the breakdown lane and it's going so slow in relations to the rest where it looks like it's reversing because there's so much distance between it and the others as they're going so fast. So when a planet is in retrograde, like say when Mercury is in retrograde, I feel like the energies of Mercury is amplified because it has slowed down significantly. So because it slowed down so much, that's where we're feeling all of the effects on it. For me personally though, whenever planets are like Mercury is in retrograde, I don't see it as, oh, you should stop living, don't do this, don't do that. Whenever Mercury is in retrograde, to me, it's an opportunity for discounts. And that's always been my experience with Mercury in retrograde. It's like discounts and clearance. For the simple fact that when Mercury is in retrograde, people tend to be distracted. They're not paying attention. So because people are distracted and they're not paying attention, that's where a lot of accidents happen. That's where people make unnecessary mistakes. I've had situations where I've made huge purchases during Mercury retrograde and they worked out in my favor just for that. Like I'm not banking on anybody making a mistake, but during the retrograde phase, I'm going to, try my best to be more conscious and present because everybody else will be making mistakes. So because of that, things are a mess and people normally say, oh, Mercury is in retrograde, so don't do this, don't do that. No, when Mercury is in retrograde, just pay attention closely because other people are distracted by so many things because that Mercury energy, Mercury is the mind. So it's like that energy is so strong and potent that the mind is so focused on so many different things. And then the mind is also reflecting on the past. So this is where the person is at work and instead of focusing on what's in front of them, they're thinking about what happened last week, last month, last year, last summer, what happened with their ex or friends or whoever, and not paying attention to what's happening in the present or multitasking and whatnot. And then of course, accidents happen, mishaps happen. So to me, yeah, with Mercury retrograde energy, pay attention. Mercury is in retrograde in Virgo. So when I think of Virgo energy, Virgo is known for ruling over the 6th house, the area of our lives that deals with our time management, our fitness, our health, and how we serve humanity, to name a few things. So with Mercury in retrograde and Virgo, I don't know if you guys could hear the rain. Like, the rain came down super hard. So maybe you guys could hear it, maybe not. But with Mercury in retrograde in Virgo, this is where we'll find ourselves reflecting on our service to others, how we help, how we support others, how we give service. Sometimes with Virgo energy being so helpful, you know, Virgo energy might tend to overdo it when it comes to help. I like to say sometimes Virgo's help can hurt, because with Virgo energy, sometimes, you know, this is where we help without people asking for help, because deep down, the help makes the helper feel good about themselves and they don't even realize it, then take offense when their help isn't received the way they would like it to receive, not realizing it's about the helper not realizing it's about them, but thinking, oh, it's really about you, but you're not showing any appreciation. Where I find personally, you know, over time from observing myself, if I help and do things because I want to, then I don't notice that people aren't telling me thank you. So with this retrograde energy, we might be reflecting on some things like that. We might be reflecting on how we overextend ourselves and feel unappreciated, where I find that whenever I'm showing up and doing it because I want to and because it makes me feel good to do it, then I don't feel that way. Regardless of what the other person does, I still feel fulfilled because it felt so good to me to do that thing. So with Mercury retrograde and Virgo, we're reflecting on how we serve others. We're reflecting on our health. This could be a great opportunity for us to come up with a nice workout regimen, for us to become better when it comes to our eating. This energy can also be very supportive as we, you know, come up with a plan in order for us to be more efficient. Come up with a plan in order to be consistent when it comes to our workout, when it comes to eating healthy. I think about, for me personally, when it comes to, say, eating well, I have to plan ahead and think to myself, okay, what are some salty foods that I could get that are comforting but are on the healthier side? What are crunchy foods that are comforting but on the healthier side? What are sweet foods that are comforting but on the healthier side? So to me, it's like planning in advance and then having all these things in the kitchen. So it's like, if ever I have cravings or whatever, I have healthier options presented and available, opposed to having nothing and then having to make a decision on an empty stomach. That's when we're going to make the worst decisions ever. So to me, with, say, even with, say, Mars conjuncting the Mercury at the time of retrograde, I feel like, yeah, that energy could really help us to be more strategic, to come up with plans in order to be more efficient. The second thing that I want to share with you, because I'm sharing 3 things instead of 5. So the second thing that I want to share with you during this Mercury retrograde might be the challenges. And I feel like some of the challenges that we might face or experience while Mercury is in retrograde in Virgo is being too obsessive and critical. Some of the challenges might be it's like there's a magnifying glass on us. And in the process of us being super nitpicky and critical about ourselves, our appearances, and different things like that, we could turn around and project that same energy onto others. So the challenge might be, you know, some of us might not be a pleasure to be around during this time, as we're super critical about ourselves and then in return projecting that energy back to others. When I think of Virgo energy, I think of how, depending on how it's aspected in a person's chart, how it could reflect like food, eating disorders or body dysmorphia and different things like that. So while Mercury is in retrograde and we're super observant and critical of ourselves, you know, we might be looking in the mirror and seeing ourselves in a way that we're actually not, like seeing ourselves in absolutely the worst light as we're doing all of this reflecting and observation of ourselves. The third thing that I want to share with you, of the 3 things that I want to share when it comes to this Mercury retrograde energy, is the blessings. And for me, blessings coming from this Mercury retrograde could be where some of us finally get our eating in order, where some of us finally come to the realization of what this symptom that we've been experiencing may mean. I think of how Virgo energy ties into like the the digestion and the immune system. So I think about how within the immune system, how, you know, sometimes it's the foods that we're eating that's throwing our systems off and creating imbalances for us. And Virgo deals with that. So I feel like through this reflection energy, some of us might become scientists over our own bodies and start to keep track and keep a record of what we're consuming and what we're experiencing, so we can actually get to the bottom of certain things. So to me, those are some blessings from the Virgo Mercury retrograde in Virgo. Also, two blessings might be, you know, some of us being more efficient, coming up with better plans, or better plans in order to achieve our goals. Focusing on the details and being more present, because we're focusing on the details, where normally before we could find ourselves, you know, so zoomed out, distracted by everything and absolutely nothing at all, to the point where it's like we're all over the place. I feel like with this retrograde energy, it could help us to zoom in, be more present, focus, and get things done. I think about how we're getting ready to wrap up this 7th year. The year 2023 adds up and reduces to number 7 vibration. And the number 7 is a very introspective and reflective energy. And the number 7 in numerology also ties into, say, us eating wellness and health, because in order for us to, like, you know, have a clear mind, to have strong intuition, and that knowing that the number 7 is known for, it's important for us to focus on our gut and our digestion, so we can have clarity when it comes to the different signals that we're sending and receiving. So when I think of the Virgo Mercury retrograde and Virgo tying into that energy, I feel like, you know, when it's all said and done, a lot of us could find ourselves coming out, you know, feeling more nurtured and taken care of, as we get knowings and insight as to what we need to do in order to get to the root of the digestion situation that might be happening, or what foods we need to let go, or what foods we need to add more of, or even when it comes to our time management. Because for me personally, it's like a domino effect, in the sense that when I'm eating certain foods, I'm more energized, and because I'm more energized, I have more energy to get things done, and because I'm able to get things done and be more efficient, I have more free time. So, you know, for some people, the blessings might be coming to that realization, you know, from the reflection of the retrograde energy, and realizing whenever I consume this, and that, this is what happens after. Like for me personally, I like to intermittent fast, because I find that I have more energy before I've eaten, and then it feels more rewarding to eat at the end of a long day. So for some of you, you'll come up with, you know, new lifestyle ways of eating and being and managing your time. But like a domino effect, once we pay attention to what we're consuming, we're able to buy so much of our time back, because we have more energy, more clarity, and we're able to do so much more. Of course, there's so much more that will be happening when it comes to this Mercury retrograde in Virgo, but those are some of the things that I wanted to cover, or some things that came to mind for me to share with you guys. If you'd like to check out the extended version of this, the link for that is in the description box below, where you could go to Patreon and check out the extended version of this. Or if you'd like to book a natal chart reading with me, the link for that is also in the description box below. Such a pleasure sharing this message with you. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a green heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.